Saint Vincent and the Grenadines/seɪnt ʻvɪnsənt unregistered trademark ntand a degree unregistered trademark ʻvɪnsənt unregistered trademark ʻdɪഃnz/ is an island country in the Lesser Antilles Island arc, in the southern portion of the Windward Islands, which lie at the southern end of the eastern border of the Caribbean Sea where the latter meets the Atlantic Ocean. The country is also known as Saint Vincent. Its 389 km2 territory consists of the main island of Saint Vincent and the northern two-thirds of the Grenadines, which are a chain of smaller islands stretching south from Saint Vincent Island to Grenada. The main island of Saint Vincent measures 18 km long, 11 km in width and 344 km2 in area. From the most northern to the most southern points, the Grenadine Islands belonging to Saint Vincent span 60.4 km with a combined area of 45 km2. Most of the nation lies within the hurricane belt. To the north of Saint Vincent lies St. Lucia, to the east Barbados. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines is a densely populated country with approximately 120,000 inhabitants. Its capital is Kingstown, also its main port. The country has a French and British colonial history and is now part of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, CARICOM, the Commonwealth of Nations, the Bolivarian Alliance for the Americas and the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. History. Early settlements. The island now known as Saint Vincent was originally named Human by the native island Caribs who called themselves Kalina Karina. The Caribs aggressively prevented European settlement on Saint Vincent until 1719. Prior to this, formerly enslaved Africans, who had either been shipwrecked or who had escaped from Barbados, St. Lucia and Grenada and sought refuge in mainland Saint Vincent, intermarried with the Caribs and became known as Black Caribs or Garifuna. French colony. Beginning in 1719, French settlers from Martinique gained control of the island and began cultivating coffee, tobacco, indigo, cotton, and sugar on plantations. These plantations were worked by enslaved Africans. In 1763 by the Treaty of Paris, France ceded control of Saint Vincent to Britain, which began a program of colonial plantation development that was resisted by the Caribs. France captured the island in 1779, but the British regained Saint Vincent under the Treaty of Versailles. This treaty was an ancillary treaty to the Treaty of Paris, through which Great Britain officially recognized the end of the American Revolutionary War. British colony. Between 1783 and 1796, there was again conflict between the British and the Black Caribs, who were led by defiant Paramount Chief Joseph Chatoa. In 1797 British General Sir Ralph Abercrombie put an end to the open conflict by crashing an uprising which had been supported by the French radical, Victor Hugues. More than 5,000 Black Caribs were eventually deported to Roatán, an island off the coast of Honduras. Slavery was abolished in St. Vincent in 1834, and an apprenticeship period followed which ended in 1838. After its end, labor shortages on the plantations resulted, and this was initially addressed by the immigration of indentured servants. In the late 1840s many Portuguese immigrants arrived from Madeira and between 1861 and 1888 shiploads of East Indian laborers arrived. Conditions remained harsh for both former slaves and immigrant agricultural workers, as depressed world sugar prices kept the economy stagnant until the start of the 20th century. 20th and 21st centuries, from 1763 until its independence in 1979, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines passed through various stages of colonial status under the British. A representative assembly was authorized in 1776, Crown colony government was installed in 1877, a legislative council was created in 1925, and universal adult suffrage was granted in 1951. During the period of its control of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, the British made several unsuccessful attempts to affiliate the island with other Windward Islands. This would have simplified Britain's control over the region through a unified administration. In the 1960s, several regional islands under British control, including Saint Vincent, also made an independent attempt to unify. The unification was to be called the West Indies Federation and was driven by a desire to gain freedom from British rule. The attempt collapsed in 1962. Saint Vincent was granted associate statehood status by Britain on October 27, 1969. This gave Saint Vincent complete control over its internal affairs but was short of full independence. On October 27, 1979, following a referendum under Milton Cato, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines became the last of the Windward Islands to gain independence. Independence came on the 10th anniversary of Saint Vincent's associate statehood status. Natural disasters have featured in the country's history. In 1902, La Soufriere volcano erupted, killing 2,000 people. Much farmland was damaged, and the economy deteriorated. In April 1979, La Soufriere erupted again. Although no one was killed, thousands were evacuated, and again there was extensive agricultural damage. In 1980 and 1987, hurricanes damaged many banana and coconut plantations. Hurricane seasons were also very active in 1998 and 1999, with Hurricane Lenny in 1999 causing extensive damage to the west coast of the island. On November 25, 2009, voters were asked to approve a new constitution in a referendum. The new constitution proposed to make the country a republic and replacing Queen Elizabeth II as head of state with a non-executive president. A two-thirds majority was required, but it was defeated by 29,019 votes to 22,493. Government and politics. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines is a parliamentary democracy and constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth II as head of state, bearing the title Queen of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. The Queen does not reside in the islands and is represented in the country by the Governor-General of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, currently Sir Frederick Balantin. The office of Governor-General has mostly ceremonial functions including the opening of the island's House of Assembly and the appointment of various government officials. Control of the government rests with the elected Prime Minister and his or her cabinet. The current Prime Minister is Ralph Gonsalves, elected in 2001 as head of the Unity Labour Party. The legislative branch of government is the unicameral House of Assembly of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, seating 15 elected members representing single-member constituencies and 6 appointed members known as senators. The parliamentary term of office is 5 years, although the Prime Minister may call elections at any time. The political parties with parliamentary representation are the New Democratic Party (NDP) and the Unity Labour Party. Parliamentary opposition made the largest minority stakeholder in general elections, headed by the Leader of the Opposition. The current opposition leader is Arnhem Eustace. The judicial branch of government is divided into district courts, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court and the Privy Council in London being the court of last resort. The country has no formal armed forces, although the Royal Saint Vincent and the Grenadines police force includes a special service unit as well as a militia that has a supporting role on the island. In 2013, Saint Vincent called for European nations to pay reparations for the slave trade. Geography. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines lies to the west of Barbados, south of St. Lucia and north of Grenada in the Windward Islands of the Lesser Antilles, an island arc of the Caribbean Sea. The islands of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines include the main island of Saint Vincent 344 km2 and the northern two-thirds of the Grenadines 45 km2, which are a chain of small islands stretching south from Saint Vincent to Grenada. The island of Saint Vincent is volcanic and includes little level ground. The windward side of the island is very rocky and steep, while the leeward side is more sandy beaches and bays. The country's highest peak is La Soufriere volcano at 1,234 am. Administrative divisions. Administratively, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines is divided into 6 parishes. 5 parishes are on Saint Vincent, while the 6th is made up of the Grenadine Islands. Kingstown is located in the parish of St. George and is the capital city and central administrative centre of the country. Economy. Agriculture, dominated by banana production, is the most important sector of this lower middle-income economy. The services sector, based mostly on a growing tourist industry, is also important. The government has been relatively unsuccessful at introducing new industries, and the unemployment rate remains high at 19.8% in the 1991 census to 15% in 2001. The continuing dependence on a single crop represents the biggest obstacle to the island's development as tropical storms wiped out substantial portions of crops in many years. The tourism sector has considerable potential for development. The recent filming of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies on the island has helped to expose the country to more potential visitors and investors. Recent growth has been stimulated by strong activity in the construction sector and an improvement in tourism. Argyle International Airport is currently under construction. There is a small manufacturing sector and a small offshore financial sector whose particularly restrictive secrecy laws have caused some international concern. In addition, the natives of Bequia are permitted to hunt up to 4 humpback whales per year under IWC subsistence quotas. Demographics. The population as estimated in July 2013 was 103,220. The ethnic composition was 66% African descent, 19% of mixed descent, 6% East Indian, 4% Europeans, 2% Island Carib and 3% others. Most ʻvɪnsəntans are the descendants of African people brought to the island to work on plantations. There are other ethnic groups such as Portuguese and East Indians, both brought in to work on the plantations after the abolishing of slavery by the British living on the island. There is also a growing Chinese population. Cultural, sport. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines has its own football league, the NLA Premier League, and also a national football team. A notable ʻvɪnsəntan footballer is Ezra Hendrickson, former national team captain who played at several Major League Soccer clubs in the United States and is now an assistant coach with the Seattle Sounders FC. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines also has its own national rugby union team which is ranked 84th in the world. In addition, netball is a major local sport and comprises women only. Other notable sports played at the regional level are track and field and tennis. Music. Music popular in Saint Vincent and the Grenadines includes big drum, calypso, soca, steelpan and reggae. String band music, quadrille and beel music and traditional storytelling are also popular. One of the most successful Saint Vincent natives is Kevin Lytle. He was named Cultural Ambassador for the island September 19, 2013. The national anthem of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines is Saint Vincent, Land So Beautiful, adopted upon independence in 1979. Languages. While the official language is English, most ʻvɪnsəntans speak ʻvɪnsəntan Creole. English is used in education, government, religion, and other formal domains, while Creole is used in informal situations such as in the home and among friends. Communications. In 2010, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines had 21,700 telephone landlines. Its land telephone system is fully automatic and covers the entire island and all of the inhabited Grenadine Islands. In 2002, there were 10,000 mobile phones. By 2010, this number had increased to 131,800. Mobile phone service is available in most areas of Saint Vincent as well as the Grenadines. The country has 10 FM radio stations including 89.1 GEM Radio, 89.7 NBC Radio, 95.7 and 105.7 Praise FM, 96.7 Nice Radio, 97.1 Hot 97, 98.3 Star FM, 99.9 Re FM, 100.5 First FM, 103.7 Hits FM, and 104.3 Cross Country Radio. It has one television broadcast station ZBG-TV and one cable television provider. The country has 3 ISPs that provide cellular telephone and internet service. See also: Outline of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Index of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. Related articles, Commonwealth of Nations, Military of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. References. Further reading: Bobrow, Jill and Jenkins, Dana 1985. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines 4th edition revised and updated, Concepts Publishing Company, Whitesfield, Vermont, 1993. Kosova, Mary Jo 1989. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. in Islands of the Commonwealth Caribbean, a regional study, edited by Sandra W. Meditz and Dennis M. Hanratty. U.S. Government Printing Office, Washington, D.C. CIA Factbook Entry, Gonsalves, Ralphie 1994. History and the Future, A Caribbean Perspective. Keek Print, Kingstown, St. Vincent. U.S. Department of State Profile, Williams, Eric 1964. British Historians and the West Indies, Port of Spain. External links, Government, Official Website, Website of the Prime Minister of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Chief of State and Cabinet Members, General Information, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines Entry at the World Factbook, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines from UCB Libraries GovPubs, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines at DMOZ Street Vincent and the Grenadines from the BBC News, Wikimedia Atlas of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Key Development Forecasts for Saint Vincent and the Grenadines from International Futures.